Right, we're going to look at simultaneous equations, everyone's favourite. Not that difficult at all, so just relax, it's fine, I'll talk you through. Consider this example. 100 metres of pipe and 6 manholes, so this is drainage piping or whatever, and 6 manholes costs £504. But on another building site, 150 metres of pipe and 11 manholes cost £882. How much is 1 metre of pipe and how much is 1 manhole? So we've got two equations that we can compare together. Now mathematicians, like engineers and people, don't like to write a lot down, right? Everything tends to get shortened. So you know how you shorten the name Alan to Al? Mathematicians do this constantly with everything, and they try and shorten it so much that it's just one letter, which is what algebra is really. So 100 metres of piping, let's call piping, instead of saying piping we'll say P, right? You've obviously heard of X and Y, that means anything, so in our case we're using pipes, P, and we'll use M for manholes. So this note I've put on screen captures that. We'll call piping P and manholes M. So instead of saying 100 metres of pipe, you could say 100p, add 6 manholes, 6m, equals 504. So that's one kind of equation that we're getting from this, because mathematicians like to extract numbers from a question, get rid of all the question and just look at the bare numbers, the equation itself, because it's faster. There's also another equation in this. You've also got 150p, 150 pipes, and 11 manholes, 11m, equals 882. So we've got two equations here. I've got equation 1, 100p plus 6m equals 504. And then of course the second equation, which is going to be 150p plus 11 manholes, 11m, equals 882. Now what we're going to do, these equations, either one of them has got two unknowns in it, which is no use. It's got P, what we don't know, and M, what we don't know. If it just had one of them, we'd be able to solve it, but we can't really. It's a bit like saying something plus something equals 10. It could be 9 plus 1, it could be 8 plus 2, it could be 7.5 plus 2.5, it could be millions of different decimal answers and fractions and everything, so we can't really answer it reliably. So we're going to have to get rid of one of these terms. Now we're either going to get rid of the P's or the M's, and it doesn't matter which, as long as we get rid of one of them. Now I'm going to get rid of the P terms purely because it's the first term we come across. Now ask yourself this, and if you understand this next bit that I'm going to tell you, the rest of this is going to be fine. We need to make that 100p equal and opposite to 150p in equation 2. So what number do we need to multiply 100 by to get to 150? Now, you'll obviously work this out, it's 1.5, 1.5. Let's consider it another way. Let's say it were 200p, you'd obviously times that by 2 to cancel out 200. However, it's 150, so we know that if we multiply 100 by 1.5, that equals 150p. That's equal, but it's not opposite. So the opposite to 150 is actually minus 150. So we can't multiply that by 1.5, we have to multiply it by minus 1.5, and as soon as we've done that, minus 150p cancels out 150p, and we're just left with this m terms. Now, the numbers aren't going to be this easy in reality. Instead of it being 100 and 150, that's easy, it's 1.5. It'll be something like 98.3 and 154.1, or some awkward number. So to get the number you need, that little, I'll call it a fiddle factor. Our fiddle factor is 1.5. To work it out properly, you'll do the big number divided by the small number, and that's it. So our fiddle factor, our adjustment number, is minus 1.5. Right? So I'm just going to capture that in these notes on screen. We need to remove the p term, We could remove the m, but we're going to do the p term first because it's the first one we came to. We need to multiply 100 in equation 1 to make it equal and opposite to 150p in equation 2. Notice it says equal and opposite, not equal, equal and opposite. So if we multiply it by 1.5, it makes it equal, and by minus 1.5 is minus 150, that makes it opposite as well. So the opposite to 150p is minus 150p. The opposite to having 150 pipes is to have someone to come and take them from you and to have no pipes. So they've taken them away, they're minus 150p. So if we multiply the whole of this equation by minus 1.5, then we'll get a new equation, equation 3, and that'll cancel out bits in equation 2, which we're going to do on next and final page. So equation 1, 100p plus 6m equals 504. Let's multiply everything in that by minus 1.5. So 100p times minus 1.5 plus 6m times minus 1.5 equals 504 times minus 1.5. So those numbers are, of course, 100p times minus 1.5 is minus 150. 6m times minus 1.5 is minus 9m, because a plus times a minus is a minus. And 504 times minus 1.5 is minus 756. That's fair enough. We've got a new equation from that. We've got minus 150p minus 9m equals minus 756. We'll call that equation 3, and we'll be able to solve it now we've got the third equation. We have to combine equations 2 and 3 together. So, reminding ourselves of equation 2, hopefully you can see this. Equation 2, 150p plus 11m equals 882. And equation 3 from above, minus 150p minus 9m equals minus 756. We're going to get both of those equations and just merge them together, right? Like that. So that's equation 2, equation 3, equation 2, equation 3, equation 2, and equation 3. So my 150p minus 150p is going to cancel everything out, right? That's perfect, that's what we wanted. And you're going to be left with 11m, take away 9m, 2m, equals 882, take away 756, and you'll be able to work that out. So the p's cancel out and the m's are combined together. So now there's no p's left in that equation. 11 take away 9 is going to be 2. And 882 take away 756 is 126. So effectively now, we know that m means manhole. It's saying 2 manholes at £126. We want to know 1 manhole, not 2. But it's easy to work out, we can just half that. So 1 manhole is half of 126. So 1 manhole costs £63. So we've worked that bit out. The beautiful bit now is in the bottom, we can put that number back into equation 1 or equation 2 and work out how much 1 metre of pipe is. There's no longer 2 unknowns. We had p and m unknown. M's no longer unknown. There's just p unknown now. So we'll put m back in equation 1 to solve p. So equation 1, 100p plus 6m is 504. So again, 100p plus 6m, well we know m is 63, so 6 times 63 is 504. We're doing bod mass now, or bid mass, however you learnt it. So that bracket, 6 times 63 is 378. So 100p plus 378 is 504. We want to get 100p on its own, so we have to remove plus 378. We'll take it to the other side, plus becomes minus because it's gone over the equals sign. So we'll end up with 100p, sorry about that bit there, 100p equals 504 take away 378. When you work that out, you get 126. 100p equals £126. It's pure coincidence that that's the same number. That's It could have been anything, right? That's just luck. So P, 100p is 126, so P on its own must be 126. We don't want to know 100 of them, we want to know 1. So 126 divided by 100. P is £1.26. 1 metre of pipe costs £1.26, and 1 manhole costs £63. Now the final thing you'd do really to check it is you'd put the values back into equation 2 to get 882. So you'd say 150 times by £1.26, add on 11 times by 63 equals 882, and if you check that now you'll find that it does actually equal 882, so we have calculated it correctly. It works. If you're ever in a situation where you'll get like a minus answer equals a minus answer at the end, just flip them round, and it's the same as transposing, so it's fine. If you get minus p equals minus 10, just flip it round, p equals 10, that kind of thing.